floating salt pod room. So people get in there, there's 800 pounds of Epsom salt in the water, and it's like a big clamshell. So you close the lid, it's sensory deprivation, and it really helps with focus, PTSD, meditation. A lot of athletes use it now. Tom Brady apparently has one in his house. And the whole team floats twice a week. So it's used for many different things, but also joint pain, brain injury. And these will be, one will be for an infrared sauna, and then 2 other rooms will be for like acupuncture, medical massage, things like that. So this will be the New England Center of Excellence for Holistic Medicine. All right, so in here, this will actually be one of the easier things. This was the hardest, getting all this done back here, wiring new plumbing, new electric. This room will be relatively simple. We're just going to tile it with Himalayan salt tiles, and they're not expensive. Illuminate it from behind, and it becomes a gym for physical therapy, yoga, group massages, things like this. Our test kitchen is here. We're going to open that up and then with the camera ready, kind of like a bar for clients to sit on and observe the cooking sessions.
So with all the new treatments, staff?
Yes. Yeah, lots of hiring. We're already hired a manager that's really good with inventory, and he's starting with us in 2 weeks. He gave his notice yesterday.
Right.
He ran multiple big stores, so we're very lucky. But yeah, so it's progressing quickly, and we would love to hire veterans.
Right.
And also, through the pipeline of job creation that we're planning on doing over at the farm, retraining, reintegrating, but they have opportunities here too.
Right. Good.
Okay. So here, our plans are going to be to do just a very large event room, weddings, banquets, different things like that. We were able to, another windfall, we were able to acquire these fixtures from Sears that was going out of business for like $20 a fixture. So we dragged them here with horse trailers, knowing that we would use some of them in the country farm store, and some here and some retail
So
stuff
if the bride
as
and
well.
groom are stressed out, you can like just take them into another part of the building to get help.
Yeah, you could rent it with or without the Himalayan salt cave. It's up to you. Yeah, so that's this part of it.
Yeah.
So moving ahead. So we are hoping to open that side, the wellness side, in 2 weeks. It's really the final touches now, and get that float pot installed Wednesday by the technician. The other stuff is coming, and it's easy after that. The hardest part has been done. So now, if you guys want, we can head over to the farm, but that might require a car just because of traffic over Route 2. So maybe we should follow Eric and Kathy.
This is King?
Yes.
This is King, 38 years old.
38?
Yes.
Oh my God.
38 years old.
Yeah.
King, you're rocking it.
We soak his food, we cut his hay, we feed him, he's on all kinds of meds. We feed him 3 or 4 times
Isn't
a
he
day
cute?
instead of 2, for the day.
Well, you should try medical marijuana. If you've got
I'll tell
him on any pharmaceutical drugs.
I was thinking
Oh
of
man, he's
him.
beautiful.
Such a good boy.
He really is.
Quarter horse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used to be a cow who used to cut.
Oh my
baby.
goodness.
Oh, you're gorgeous. Oh man, I love you. I love you.
Where's the treat? There's no treat.
Oh no, there's no
There's
treat
no
there, baby.
treat.
No treat there.
No treats,
Yeah,
there's
he's-
no teeth. You can't
Oh,
have teeth.
what a good boy. You.
Yeah, he's a few and far between, so he's so how to
He's been
say.
such a good boy.
Oh,
He's a sweetie
We don't want to
pie.
move him
He's been-
Oh, no.
No, we're not moving him at
to
all.
the new
That was
place,
one
so
of
he
the
stays
reasons why
for
we
now.
hesitated about selling
And that's what we call King's Gold
so much. You bring such good
for the
vibes
farming,
to this place.
because it really is.
Mine anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So we really need to get going,
Oh.
because this thing, the announcement was just made, we gotta get back to the Norwich District
Oh,
office.
for goodness
You know,
sake.
We got more, we have so many people
I'm
on
sorry,
board here,
guys.
So, okay,
Yeah, that's all right.
All right, so
yeah,
we're gonna.
yeah,
We're really sorry.
yeah.
This is not our typical.
This is very
That's okay.
exciting
Well,
what you're doing.
well, let's
Yes.
continue
Yes, yes.
at some point
Yes.
when things are more settled down.
This is
And
just
we'll
this
come back
guy.
What are you gonna do up there?
So art therapy, painting, different. Troy and Christopher will be running that for the veterans.
Wonderful.
And anyone else who's interested, because I'm sure as time goes on, you know. So one of our first projects will be drumming up the cash for insulation, putting in some plumbing, you know, things like that, but leaving the exposed beams because we love the look and the feel. Yep. And then downstairs we have another surprise. So yeah, this is Big Blue that Eric kindly gave us with the farm. And I had my first driving lesson on this with Eric back a few months ago, learning how to like lift the thing and mow and do whatever. But this is an invaluable part of the farm, but it also has a particular sentimental meaning to Eric and Kathy. I didn't know he was a veteran himself. And then when he heard what we had in mind for this place, he just was like, oh my gosh, you know, and then told me the story about this, and
Louis.
and in a beautiful community way. So it's really all of us working together on this enormous project that there's no way I could have done alone. So it's really an honor to be working with everybody like this. Couldn't do it myself. And he farms in Westerly, and he's agreed to come on as our master farmer and educator for other veterans.
Oh, yeah.
I could try to find out.
I couldn't believe I didn't remember that, but
That's all right, I keep
Carolyn will.
Josh. So, yeah, Drew, Josh, right.
But we have a lot of,
Film is Drew.
we just have a lot of other people that we know through the office who are veterans who also have volunteered already. So there's quite a big little army of people here that want to swoop in and do this and help us out. So we fundraising for the Morton building, that's going to be on the agenda. As soon as we get, I already have the concrete pad, the donation of the concrete pad pouring and overseeing. And then as soon as we get that up with the lights, that's when we start with the growing. We'd also like to do hemp, maybe 1 or 2 acres in the back.
And does Connecticut allow growing marijuana at this point?
Not marijuana. We wouldn't be growing marijuana. We would like to, but we wouldn't be doing it, no.
Until
Until things
approve.
change,
Yeah.
you know, and then who
That
knows?
Could be a long term.
And it could be regulated in a very different way, so who knows? Who knows?
But hemp is huge.
Hemp is,
I mean, it can really just save these people.
Well, and there are issues with hemp too, aren't there? What are the issues with hemp?
well, it's slowly the farm bill, and we were hoping to talk with Joe about that a little more, but I guess that's slowly moving forward, and there's some educational courses.
Nationally or?
No, in Connecticut, and from what I understand, you can partner with a university like UConn perhaps and be part of their educational and do it that way. So that's my next step.
Very smart.
We met with Kevin.
It's an amazing plant
Yeah.
for cleaning up pollution as well as sequestering carbon and stuff like that. So it's a great product for the environment.
I know fiddleheads
Yeah, Connecticut Farmers Association.
provide local hemp, but there's still regulations that kind of keep.
There are, but it's, you know, they make like fireproof bricks out of that, for God's sakes, you know, and
Replace plastic, steel,
yeah,
cotton.
it's the new plastic without the problems.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Got a commercial, The Graduate. Got one word for you, son. Plastic, and they go,
Yeah.
Like an old movie.
Yeah. So there's a few other buildings that building over there, we were hoping to make a pottery studio out of that. And for now I have some very handy renters that are contractors that help me with absolutely everything around here. So I really have no stress from this at all, which is very wonderful. And you guys too, I mean, anything I need,
Well,
they've always
that-
been.
You took the stress off of us by me not having to take care of this place.
Right.
Well, and we have a lot of volunteers that want to start to revive the gardens. Kathy had beautiful gardens, so that's also on the agenda for the spring. So a geologist, archaeologist who the forester referred me to when we walked the property, and I was telling him about some of the things that I've seen, and he said, "Oh, you've got to talk to this guy." So I met him, and we went up there and looked, and do you know that Lantern Hill, which is the most sacred place in North America, is like the head of the dragonfly, and then there's a long body, and then there's 4 wings, and these are like geological formations that I guess through shifts happened. So we have the smallest wing here.
Oh, really?
We have the southeast wing of the Lantern Hill dragonfly. Yes, and he was so excited, and he was like, "How did you know? How did you know?" I was like, "I didn't know. I just things are all happening the way they're supposed to." So,
All we need is to have an eagle.
well, yeah, it's been quite amazing.
That'll happen yet.
Yeah, that was quite amazing. So I asked him to write it up for me in a paragraph and give me that picture, because he actually has a aerial view of this dragonfly, and he said he was going to do it for us. So, yeah, beautiful day for this climate in Connecticut. We were advised not to get a greenhouse, that that's not sustainable for winter. So this is a year-round option.
So I know you said it's a work in progress. How do you sort of see it evolving, like step by step from here?
Well, it's like everything we do is not evolution, it's revolution. So, I think the wellness center will open in 2 weeks. We should have everything up and running by then. And the management is in place. He starts with us in 2 weeks. He gave his notice at his current job. So we'll start actively recruiting for receptionists and things like this, and start to generate some income. While that's going, there's a door that separates it. I don't know if you really could see, but that door will close, and the guys will start working on the Himalayan salt cave and the kitchen. And meanwhile, we have a lot of work to do and a lot of scrambling to learn about the hemp. How do we get our foot in the door? You know, if we do end up growing it and have permission, how do we distribute it after that? That's going to be a whole... So we already have some meetings lined up with some hemp growers in Vermont, hemp growers in New York State that are already doing that. So it's going to take some work. The company that we're working with, who does the aeroponic grow technique, which is a vertical, I don't know if you've seen those.
I've seen aeroponic, yeah.
Yeah, those walls in New York City of living
There's a
walls.
company right here in Colchester.
That's who we're
Oh, is that
working
who
with.
you use?
Yeah, well, we've been talking with them multiple times.
SCHELL.
SCHELL.
Okay. Drew Shell? Thank you.
Thank you.
And when do you think he's going to start?
Drew,
Yeah.
I think he's anxious to start as soon as we have the building and something for him to do. So it's really getting that modern building up, getting some funds for that. We're going to have to hold some fundraisers, you know, and or generate, I mean, I haven't taken on, Chris and I are partners in the building, but we have not taken on any other partners for anything. So it's all been, you know, So that,
So, sorry, you're a partner in the wellness building?
Yeah, the wellness.
Oh, okay. And what's your last name, Chris?
Morrissey, Morrissey.
I think I know whose mom you are. That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great. So what are you just the owner, or are you going to do some stuff in the building?
I'm like a helper and moral support and idea person.
Okay.
yeah, and so we co-own the building, and then Chris has been working on, because I'm so overtaxed with things, he's been researching organic, pure CBD from hemp for patients, something that we could safely recommend, because I don't want any crap for the patients, so he's been researching.
Yeah, trying to like U.S. grown, organic, pesticide free, third party tested, all that sort of high quality, full spectrum.
So, and he also, along those lines, found some other equipment that will facilitate, like, patients when they want to make their own oils, and so tell us more about that one, Chris.
Yeah, so like if a patient wanted to make medical cannabis oil, there's this product I found. It's a decarboxylator. It's called the Ardent, and it kind of like bakes the cannabis to burn off an acid from it, and so then you can dose in like you could mix it in with your food, or you could put it in like a little pill. So it's easier to dose exactly that way and safer, and encourages. And then also I've done research into different vaporizers and stuff, so people can they don't have to smoke or anything. CBD or medical cannabis, they can do the like safest and easiest way to dose the proper dosage. So trying to find like consumer-friendly products that are healthy.
That we can then sell, and we're not selling cannabis, but we're selling products related to the industry that can be helpful, kind of that we have vetted, and we're saying, don't waste your money on whatever, guys. Look, we have this thing here, it works really well, and this is the best one we've found. If you want it, here you go. Like that. So
Yeah.
some element of retail too. Yeah. But also Chris was invaluable with the Himalayan salt tiles and salt caves, and sending me articles on here's one in Ridgefield and here's one in, there aren't many, there's I think only one in Connecticut, Ridgefield, and then one in Rhode Island.
Well, there's a salt float tank in Rhode Island.
Float tank, but the salt cave itself. Or was that Nancy that sent me?
I don't know about the one in Rhode Island for the salt
Nancy,
tank.
did you send me that with those zero gravity chairs? Yeah. Both of these guys. So everybody's kind of helping and sending things. Sometimes I forget where it came from.
So then what do the Himalayan salt caves do?
They're supposed to be very relaxing, and
Okay.
the like ions are supposed to be healthy and positive healing and stuff like that.
So it's like added value. So instead of just doing yoga in a regular studio, come and do it in this Himalayan salt cave. So you're getting the benefit of those ions as well.
Get out all the bad stuff in your system. Does it help
Detoxify.
you?
Yeah, clean out, relax.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think stress is terrible, and so this is a great way for people to distress and help feel better and be happier.
Yeah, and just come into a place where, they have it all in one area. And if they choose and they want to do like a special program written up for their needs, including some vitamin infusion therapy, which patients have been asking me for that for years. And I just never had time to research it. Now the risks are low and the benefits are great. Even for, vitamin B2, and there's some other B vitamins that have been implicated. I don't know if that's been checked, but a lot of patients have improved just with that infusion. Yeah, so there's alternative ways to tackle tough problems.
So are you sort of branding yourself as an alternative medical establishment?
We've always been.
You always have been.
Yeah, this is just
More so.
just a natural growth. Yeah.
When you say, how did the idea for buying of stuff that pop up.
It just all happened. I can't explain it. I don't know how it happened.
Well, have you been talking about the farm for a while?
Well, Eric has been for 10 years telling me, about 10 years, every time I see him at an appointment, hey Doc, when I retire, I'm going to sell you my farm. And then one day it finally happened, a year ago, and at that point, then we had to decide what are we going to do with this beautiful playground, you know, and we should share it. It's a gorgeous. There's even a rock formation along those trails called Tipping Rock, which is a massive boulder, kind of, and next to a smaller one, and it was used for communication by the natives in the 1600s. It's a very interesting place.
Yeah. There's a lot of history.
Yeah.
Did you mention that you want to have sweat lodges one day?
Sweat lodge? Oh yeah, I didn't talk about that, I don't think. So we've already spoken with a member of the Mohican tribe and also the Narragansett tribe. And we're hoping that in conjunction, all of the tribes will come together and run this for us in the spirit of unity. And, these sweat lodges have been described as very helpful for PTSD for veterans. I myself was in a sweat lodge a week ago on Saturday. Oh yeah. No, here at one of the gentlemen's house, and can't talk about it too much. I'm not supposed to, but it was intense.